Speaking of things that are not shit, yeah, we'll go with not shit. Questionably shit. Meet 76's Meet System76's first mechanical keyboard. System76 are those guys who make Linux laptops that run Pop! OS. If you have never heard of them, but you've probably heard of them if you do anything relating to the Linuxy world. Even if you don't care about Pop! OS or their devices. Now, this is a interesting keyboard that has a horrible, possibly the worst designed spacebar on the entire planet. Plus, oh, okay, no, when I looked at this keyboard, I didn't realize how much I hated it. Wow, I actually hate this more. The more that I look at this thing, the more that I actually hate it. Oh god, okay. So, for anyone listening to the audio version, generally it looks like a keyboard. It's a 10, is it 10 keyless? It doesn't have a number pad. It doesn't have a number pad. Anyway, whatever you call those keyboards don't have number pads. You have to look at this thing. It's so weirdly laid out. So the escape and function keys, those are fine. Nothing weird there. Number line, perfectly fine. Tab through / perfectly fine. Where it gets weird is the line with caps lock on it, where caps lock is offset. So usually, my voice is awful today. Usually what you'll see is like your tab, caps lock, shift, and control key will like all be in a line. That's a normal thing for a keyboard. In this case though, the caps lock, shift, and control are like slightly pushed inwards. I don't understand. So like, they're not in line with the tab, the tilde, and the escape. They're actually like slightly in further on the keyboard, which is so weird to look at. Plus, then you've got your enter key. So the enter key was also pushed in, but it's also like a smaller enter key. Like, it could have been expanded out to be the length of a normal enter key, but it's not. There's just like a weird gap there. I don't understand this gap. Why is that gap there? And then because it doesn't have a number pad, it's also had to put like the arrow keys like right next to the right shift, and the right shift is then also shorter than it should be as well, and also pushed in really far, like pushed in even further than the enter key. It's so weird to look at. I don't know what this keyboard is. And then you have the biggest offender of all. I see why they've done it, but the biggest offender of all is having a split spacebar. Like, it doesn't have one long spacebar. It has 2 spacebar keys. And then you can go and replace those keys with, like, a shift or a backspace or a function. Why would you replace it with a function key? That's weird. I don't understand. But yeah, you can replace it with, like, a bunch of keys. That's so strange. So if you replace the left side of the spacebar, I don't understand this. So if you're not looking at the image, look at your keyboard, take your spacebar and split it in half, and because most keyboards have 2 switches under their spacebar, but most of the time they're both on the same key. This takes those two switches and puts them on separate keys. So weird to look at. I've never seen a keyboard like this. And then it's also going to be accompanied with with a mapping software, so you can go and remap those keys. You want to go and remap literally any key on the keyboard. Now, that I actually do see as a something pretty useful. Now, there are other keyboards you can very easily remap, but this does have like its own special remapping software to do whatever special things it can do. I don't know. It also has RGB because why not? But all of this all of this keyboard is like really cool. Until you get to the price. So this is a keyboard that is manufactured in the US, which obviously makes it expensive. $285. So it is a 84 key semi-staggered layout. Also, wait, what? It has a 10 gigabit USB hub. So it's not also with the firmware, it's not running QMK. It's running a firmware based on QMK. I'm guessing that's why they have their own software. Huh. But anyway, I don't understand this like semi-staggered layout. Like, why is the enter key so small? Why don't you extend the keys to like where they should be located? Like, I would get it if you're trying to save some space, but there's nothing but room here. Like, it's literally just empty space here, and you've made the caps lock, shift, and control shorter than they need to be. I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's so weird to look at. Also, something that someone pointed out to me is why doesn't it have a what are the ThinkPad people call it? The nipple. Why doesn't it have a track point nipple? That would actually be pretty cool. I think if you put that on there, that actually would justify the price. I don't know if Lenovo has a patent on that. They very well might. But if they don't, that actually would be really cool here, and I actually could see people buying this. But I don't know who's buying this keyboard otherwise. It's a $285 84-key keyboard with QMK software. Like, if you're spending that kind of money, that's the range, and like this is such a customizable keyboard that you would go and build your own keyboard. Like that's what this range is. I don't understand who this is for. Sure, the 10 gigabit USB hub is useful, but like it's not that useful. It's a wired keyboard. I don't know why that's listed as a feature. That's not a feature. That's like standard. I'm sure this split spacebar appeals to somebody. I'm just not the person it appeals to. Plus, I do like my my numpad. That's a big thing for me. I love my numpad, and not having my numpad would be a big pain for me. What I need to do is get a QMK keyboard and just remap the numpad to be like useful keys so they don't break all my other stuff. But I don't know. It's such an odd keyboard to look at. I wouldn't pay... Well, in Australia, it's not going to be $285. It's going to be, like, close to $400. It's not my sort of thing. I'm sure someone cares about it, but... Oh, it does have a bunch of... Okay, so when it says the USB hub, it has two USB-A 3... I guess they're 3.1 ports, they would probably be. And then USB-C ports as well. Like, that's cool. Like, it's all cool and all that. But I just don't understand the point. I don't know. To be fair, my keyboard, in case you don't know, I've shown it off enough times, is a Cougar Vanta, which I believe is $70. I bought it because it's a scissor switch keyboard, and scissor switch keyboards are objectively the best switch. I don't care what anyone has to say. Get out of here, you mechanical scrubs. I don't care about your opinion. I don't know. It's an interesting keyboard. I just don't get it. I don't get who this appeals to at that price point. If it was $200, I could see it. $200 would actually be more reasonable, but almost $300 is where you're building your own keyboard. No one spending $300 on a keyboard is buying something pre-built. At least in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just ranting. But it is built in America, and if that's what you want to support, maybe that's why you want to buy it. Still too much for me, though. Still very, very much for me. Even if it was built in Australia, I still wouldn't pay that much at all.